Positive expected value betting is one of the most profitable betting strategies that is out there. It has worked wonders for me. As you can see on the screen here, I have been positive expected value betting since September 21. And as the screenshot shows, I have profited over $30,000 betting in that span. This is all using OddsJam and using the positive expected value tool. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the OddsJam positive expected value betting tool and what the best strategies are and everything like that. As for myself, my name is Matt Modi. I'm a content creator and betting analyst for oddsjam.com. I would appreciate those of you watching if you could like the video, comment on the video, let me know your thoughts, good, bad, ugly, whatever it may be. Love hearing from you guys. And then of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a ton of educational stuff such as this, as well as best bets for the day as well. Tons of helpful stuff. So definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. And then if you want to find me on social media, you can at my Twitter handle, Jedi Modi. But before we get into the actual tool itself, I do just want to briefly talk to you about what positive expected value betting is. So the literal definition of positive expected value betting is when you are placing bets that you know as the sports bettor are going to hit at a higher rate than the reflected odds that the sportsbook is offering. Now, I know that sounds like a mouthful, but let me detail it to you, not even talking about sports betting. I like to use the example of flipping a coin. So general logic is when you flip a coin, it's a 50-50 chance, right? 50% heads, 50% tails. Well, pretend that you are flipping a coin that you know is actually heavier weighted towards the heads side, and it's going to land on heads 55% of the time. The person that you're placing the bet with, they don't know that. They still think that it's 50-50. So you're going to bet on heads every single time, knowing that 55% of the time it will work out in your favor. So literally every single time that coin is flipped, you have a 5% edge. That's essentially what positive expected value betting is. The way it works is OddsJam calculates the true line of a market, the most accurate representation of what a market should be priced at, all the while scanning odds from every single major sportsbook like a FanDuel, a DraftKings, whatever, and providing betting opportunities where you are getting better odds than the true line. Now, I will say I do have a video on this YouTube channel detailing in much, much more detail everything behind positive expected value betting. So if you want a little bit more information than provided in this video, I definitely recommend checking that out. In this video, I'm more just giving you the definition of what positive EV betting is, and then sharing my screen and walking you through how to use the OddsJam positive expected value betting tool. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is what the screen looks like, right? I'm on OddsJam, I'm on the positive expected value page. Now, right off the bat, I mentioned that OddsJam calculates the perfect line, the true line of a market. You're probably wondering, well, how the heck do they even do that? Well, those odds are calculated in this no vig odds column that you see right here. So we see like all plays on the OddsJam positive EV page have odds under the no vig odds column. These odds, which in this case we see plus 156, plus 155, plus 178, plus 172, excuse me, whatever. These odds are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. So if we click into a play, we see like a bunch of different sportsbooks have a bunch of different odds. Well, the way this works is OddsJam backtested thousands of these types of betting opportunities and then use that data to determine what sportsbooks consistently do the best job at pricing odds. Who are the sharp sportsbooks? One of them is definitely going to be Pinnacle, generally regarded as the sharpest sportsbook in the world, and then calculates that data and then removes the VIG using a weighted average to calculate these no VIG odds here. That's why it's so powerful, because if you think about it from like a holistic betting view, OddsJam is saying, hey, these X amount of sportsbooks that we see here are consistently the best at pricing odds. So we're going to use them to basically set the market moving forward. So for this play, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander under 0.5 made 3-pointers. The sharpest sportsbooks in the world are telling us this should be priced at plus 156. We are getting it at plus 170. There is your value. But let's back up a little bit. I just wanted to detail the perfect line, the true line of how that was calculated. But this is what a standard play looks like on the positive expected value betting page. Now, I detailed what the no vig odds mean. But when you are scanning the positive EV page, the most important thing that you need to understand, the play that is bolded and is highlighted is the positive expected value play, right? This is a sign yelling at you saying, hey, bet me, I am the positive EV play. You see how Shea Gilgeous-Alexander under 0.5 is bolded, and we see how there's like a little shaded highlight around the play as well. Whenever you are looking at the positive EV page, whatever play is bolded and highlighted is going to be the positive expected value play. Doesn't matter if the odds are plus 170 or if the odds are plus 120 or plus 110. I'm trying to find a minus play. Minus 105, minus 130, minus 110, whatever. Whatever play is highlighted and bolded is the play that you should be betting. Now, the OddsJam, I mentioned perfect lines calculated in this column here. The next thing over is the book in the odds that you're placing the bet on. So I mentioned plus 170. These are the odds that you are betting. And then right next to it is the sportsbook at bet 365. But there's actually a way you can use math to calculate the difference between these two numbers, between the OddsJam perfect line, the no vig odds, and the odds of the bet you're placing. And it calculates this percent that you see on the far left. Now, this is another important concept to understand. This percent that you see here is your percent of expected value, can also be viewed as your percent edge or your profit margin. There are a couple different ways to explain the percent, and those are the three main ones, right? Percent of positive EV, your percent edge you hold over the sportsbook, or you can calculate it as your expected profit margin for this play. And then going forward, we see the date. Obviously, that's the date the game is going to be played, the event. So this is the Thunder versus Pelicans game, and then the market. So if we're thinking about this entire positive expected value bet, the play is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to go under 0.5 player made threes. This is in the Thunder versus Pelicans game. You're getting this at plus 170 odds at bet 365. That's how you read a play on the positive EV page. Now, a couple other things to mention. Number one is I definitely recommend you keep these recommended filters, this button selected. You see how you can like check it and check it off. I definitely recommend having it selected. What the recommended filters does is it basically provides the best of the best. It provides certain markets that we are confident are going to have a profitable plays in the long run. Now, what I mean by that is there are some markets that have a higher variance than others. They're a little bit more risky. Not saying that if you turn the recommended filters page off, that you are now gonna, oh, these are actually unprofitable bets. These are not positive expected value. Nothing like that. There's just a little bit more implied risk with the recommended filters button off. What I do like about having the recommended filters button off is you see all of these different options you can filter for, right? You can filter for a certain percent, sport, league, market, date range, a specific game, minimum, maximum odds, and then market width is all this different stuff you can filter for. But if you keep the recommended filters button selected, it does all that stuff for you. It gives you the best markets, the best odds, the best market width. The only thing that you can really change is the sports books that you want to have highlighted. So if you want to bet a specific sports book, you can. Or if you want to bet a specific date range, you can as well. And then obviously make sure that you're constantly refreshing, making sure that you're getting the most up-to-date odds. But if we think about the definition I mentioned of positive expected value betting, we're placing bets that we know as the sports bettor are going to hit at a higher rate than the reflected odds that the sportsbook is offering. Well, we know based on the no vig odds what the true line of a market should be priced at. And then OddsJam is constantly scanning odds from other sportsbooks, making sure that we are placing bets that have better odds than the no vig line. And when I say better odds, I mean like higher payout, better for us as the sports bettor. Plus 156 is the true line. Plus 170 are the odds that we're betting. We go one play down. Plus 152 is the true line. Plus 164 are the odds that we are betting. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is even if you are using the recommended filters, that doesn't mean you should just blindly hammer every single play that you see here. There's still a little bit of additional work that I recommend doing just to make sure that you are placing the best of the best. And what I mean by that is, you see how whenever you highlight over a play, the screen, like the page is highlighted blue over a specific play, where if you just click your mouse wherever it's highlighted blue, it does exactly what you see here. It pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing odds for this play. Now, I showed you this screen at the very beginning, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that the odds of the bet that you are placing is truly an outlier compared to the odds of the rest of the sportsbooks. You want to make sure that you are betting on an outlier. Now, if the play is showing up on the recommended filters, it should be an outlier to confirm. I just think you should do a little bit more digging to just make sure you're placing the best of the best. And if you're ever unsure of whether the bet you're placing is an outlier or not, all you need to do is click View Event Page, open it in a new tab, and then it pulls up this screen that you see here. And this screen is just the entire market for the market that you're betting. So it's player-made threes, but it's every single book and every single player. What you want to do is click this button that says Show No VIG Odds. What it does is exactly what it sounds like. It removes the VIG from every single sportsbook. So what you want to do, you want to compare the odds of the bet you are placing, which in this case is the SGA under 0.5 at plus 170. So the odds are plus 170. Compare those odds to the no VIG odds of the rest of the sportsbooks. Basically, if the odds of the bet that you are placing have better odds than the no VIG line of the majority of sportsbooks, then that is a good play. If yes equals bet, if no equals don't bet. So let's look at this Shea play. Would I bet this or not? So we bet it at plus 170. So we see where the sportsbooks are pricing it. We see one other book, BetMGM, have their no VIG odds above this at plus 180. Every other book, plus 158. That's a good sign. This is the book that we bet it at, Bet365, plus 162, plus 162, plus 143, plus 156, plus 145. I would bet this play. We are betting it at plus 170, and this beats the no VIG odds of legitimately every other sportsbook that prices it except for one. That's a good sign. That means you have placed a bet on an outlier. So that's one of the most important things you can do in terms of actually deciding which bets to place, is just to make sure that you're betting on outliers. And if you're ever unsure whether it's an outlier or not, click View the Event Page, open it in a new tab, and do the exact process that I just did here. I do this literally for every single positive EV play that I bet. And I mentioned, it's worked phenomenally for me. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully this video was helpful. We've learned what positive expected value betting is, and we've learned how to use the OddsJam positive expected value betting tool in terms of best practices and stuff like that. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever it may be, please comment on the video and let me know. Other than that, remember to like, subscribe, hit me up at my Twitter handle, JediModi, and that's it. So appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.